Hi, my name is Charlie Sigalitis, and I'm the winemaker for Cline Cellars and for Jacuzzi Family Vineyards in Sonoma County, in Carneros. I've been a winemaker for 30 years. I've been with Cline Cellars now. This will be my 9th harvest. Born and raised in California, lots of opportunity to work with wonderful grapes. Let me tell you about a few of them. This first wine we're going to taste is our 2009 Sonoma Coast Pinot Gris. This is 100% from Sonoma County, from cool growing regions. It's made without any oak at all. It's 89% Pinot Gris, and the balance is Chardonnay. So we derive a few different flavors from this wine, but by fermenting it at very cool temperatures and not using any oak at all, we bring out that fruit. It's a nice, bright, tropical lime. This is our North Coast Viognier, our 2009 North Coast Viognier. Viognier is a grape variety that went from Croatia to the northern part of the Rhone Valley in France, 261 AD. We're lucky enough to have about 2,000 acres of Viognier in California. Compare that to 100,000 acres of Chardonnay, and this is a fairly rare bird. This one, the grapes are sourced in a few different places, but primarily the county that's above Sonoma County is Mendocino, and that's where about 70% of these grapes come from. Then we grow our own Viognier here, and then we pull some in from Napa also. So let's see what it tastes like. The 2009 Viognier is made without any oak at all, so it's fermented cold in stainless steel to preserve the flavors. There's a lovely citrus component to it, just like a cutie, just like an orange, but there's also an apricot and a little bit of a nectarine character to it too. You know, an interesting thing about Viognier is it also has a touch of a floral component to it. It's big-bodied enough that it pairs well with foods that also have some flavor and some body to them too. But that's our 2009 North Coast Cline Viognier. This is our 2008 Cashmere. Cashmere is a blend of 3 varieties. It's a blend of Mourvèdre, Grenache, and Syrah. The first time we did this blend, it was about 10 years ago, and we made 1 barrel as a donation to the Hospice de Rhone. Every year, the blend has grown and grown and grown. We've gone out to source quality Grenache for this blend, and that's one of the key components in this. But we age this with a little bit of French oak. Let's see what it tastes like. You know, each one of those varieties, the Mourvèdre, the Grenache, and the Syrah, contribute to the flavor of this wine. So there's a lovely cherry by way of the Grenache. The Mourvèdre contributes a chocolate component to it, and the Syrah gives it a little bit of a tannic blueberry background. It's a mouthful, very flavorful wine. This is our 2008 Cline's Ancient Vine Mourvèdre, and we tell people to remember that name Mourvèdre by remembering move over deer. This is a Spanish grape variety that moved to the south of France a couple hundred years ago. This wine is 100% Mourvèdre from our vineyards in Contra Costa County in Oakley, California. There's only 800 acres of this vine in California, period, so it's a fairly rare animal. This is aged with a little bit of American oak. Mourvèdre is a grape variety that likes warm weather, and so we grow it in an area that gets a lot of sunshine in Contra Costa County. It's big-bodied, it's plums, it's chocolate, it's toasty oak. It's really lovely. This is the 2007 Cline Cellars Cool Climate Syrah. This is 100% Syrah, and it comes from our vineyards on the Sonoma Coast, hence the cool climate. Oftentimes fog will lay on those vines until noon, and it makes for a long, cool growing season. When you grow this grape variety, when you grow Syrah in a cool climate, you generate a lot of black pepper component to it. So there's black pepper, there's blueberry, there's a fair amount of tannin to give it some structure. It's probably one of the edgiest red wines we make. It's a very savory wine. There's even a little bit of of a naturally occurring acetic acid component to it, which makes the wine very savory. You'll know what I'm talking about when I taste it. But it's an ideal wine to pair with food because of that elevated acid and that savory component to it. It's aged in French oak also. Black pepper and blueberries. Cheers. This is our 2009 Cline California Zinfandel. This is one of our best-selling wines. This wine does so well for us because it embodies lots of the neat characters you get that made Zinfandel so popular when it came to California in the 1850s. That is a wonderful strawberry component to it, and also good color and a mouth-filling richness. There's a lovely strawberry component to this wine. There's a little bit of chocolate to it too, but it's fairly smooth and has good acid also. This is our 2008 Cline Cellars Ancient Vine Zinfandel. It's ancient vine because some of those grapes were planted back in 1904 in Contra Costa County. We pull grapes from Contra Costa County, where our winery started, from Lodi, and from Mendocino County. This is neat old fruit that just bears a very shy crop, but the grapes tend to be very intense in flavor, and they make intense wine. So let's see what this guy tastes like. This is also blended with some very old vine, Carignan and Mourvedre too. Also an odd variety called Alicante Boucher. We pick these grapes very ripe, and when you have nice ripe fruit, you make big-bodied wines. The flavors I get out of this are that neat strawberry combined with spice and chocolate. It's a mouth-filling, very rich Zinfandel. This is our Cline Cellars 2008 Big Break Zinfandel. It's called Big Break Zinfandel because the vineyard itself, that was planted in the early 1900s, 1904 to be exact, was adjacent to a road called Big Break Road where the levee broke. The defining characteristic of this old vine Zinfandel is that it's planted near eucalyptus trees. Those eucalyptus trees have an interesting impact on the wine in that they give it an intense minty character. Combine that with the neat strawberry you get from Zinfandel, it's a very interesting wine. Mouth-filling and flavorful.